So next up, I enjoyed that last one.
Yeah.
I like talking about the 1%.
Interesting.
It is, isn't it? It's always nice getting other people's views on things.
Yeah.
But next up, we're going to pretty much let you talk for half an hour now. We haven't got much for this one. We haven't got much input, but I definitely want to hear about where we go. And it is something you've been, I'm going to say, there since the beginning. That is the feeder fishing revolution that has occurred. We just had a chat, haven't we?
Yeah.
And it definitely, from the point that, not from that point, but it definitely started when the England feeder team was started. When was that? You were there.
Yeah.
What are we going for?
2012?
it?
No, 2014.
Yeah, I'm having that.
2014.
Yeah, I remember Kieran practicing. But from that point, it was unbelievable, wasn't it? It just went to...
Exploded.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we just want to hear your thoughts on it. How it's become. What a wonderful thing it has now become in this country, isn't it?
I mean, what a wonderful thing it is for the tackle industry, for anglers in general, and it's created another avenue for your anglers that may be very hard-working people, family commitments. They want to go in a match once a week. They haven't got time to prep. Let's tie 6 hooks. Let's pick the rod bag up. Let's buy some ground bait. And let's go fishing.
Yeah.
That's how simple it is.
It's mega. You've referred to it this morning. We've done a quick feeder thing this morning, or a feeder video today. And it was the first thing you said, wasn't it? Is how quick you set up, you're done.
Yeah.
There's no faffing about. There's fairly minimal prep. It is, like you say, you can be ready to go fishing before you get to your peg.
Yeah.
Like everything can be ready, can't it?
Everything.
Other than where you're going to chuck to,
Yeah.
you're done.
Let's say a long range method feeder match. From the minute I put my box down, I reckon it'll take me 5 minutes to have everything done.
to be done.
I love it. It's great.
Done.
And then it's that camaraderie then. You can have a chat with people around you, sit down, have a cup of tea.
Yeah, away from the serious aspect of the serious matches you fish, it does, doesn't it? It's more of a social, or even during them, I bet you. Is it more sociable?
Very social.
Depending on the type of fishing.
Yeah, and I think add that all together, what we've just spoke about, I think that's why it's so popular.
Yeah.
People love it, and it's amazing in the time how we as anglers collectively, from social media information to discussions on the bankside, evolution of ways of catching fish has evolved so much just in, 8 years?
Yeah.
It's massive.
Yeah. Have you noticed that in your own fishing?
Oh, 100%.
Not just your commercial-based coming here.
100%.
You brought that side of things
So
to it.
let's take, for example, let's take a step back to 6 years ago, when if Bonsai was like the footprint for this venue, if there was an open match on a Tuesday and Thursday, it'd be on Bonsai, I'd be there.
Yeah.
If I know now what I knew then, I'd have even more weight.
You didn't ever not lose one though then, did you?
But do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
And yeah, we still don't know everything. There's still more to learn.
Yeah.
There might be a new hook pattern that come out that all of a sudden that's even better.
Do you find that when you're fishing? That's a different topic, but only a quick one because I want to focus on the feeder fishing. When you look at yourself now, you think, I'm up at the top now. I can't get much better than this. But then you look at yourself or your decisions, the way you're fishing 4 years, you think, I was useless then.
Yeah.
And it's amazing that how that progression happens when you don't see where it'll go, do you?
Yeah.
You don't see where it's going to come from.
You know, like when people talk about, he's at the top of his game, he's at the top of his game. I don't even feel as if I've reached my prime yet. The problem with me is I'm so critical with myself that I'm never happy with everything that I do.
Yeah,
and it's very, very rare. And in fact, the last time that happened was the Golden Rod weekend, where I come off the bank and I won it, but I'm on about how it worked out for me, how I fished, what happened. And I felt as if it was the most perfect weekend ever.
Yeah.
I never missed a bite. I didn't lose a fish. I made a decision and it worked. And I come off the bank and I thought, that's not usually the case, is it? There's always something.
We've spoken about this on the phone.
There's always something that goes wrong.
Yeah. That was a perfect. But that's.
And so I feel as if I've not even reached my prime yet. I'm 50 years of age, and this is the beauty about fishing and the attractive. And if you notice with the evolution of feeder fishing, if you go in these feeder matches, the average age is quite old.
Is it?
You know, you haven't got a load of young kids in these feeder
going
matches.
fast with jigger floats.
You've got your older anglers that have been through it all, and they actually enjoy the relaxing side to it now. They can sit there with their arms folded and have a cup of tea.
I'll chat to the mate, but still.
What is brilliant about feeder fishing, and I think this is the be-all and end-all of why we're having this conversation, is everyone from all abilities is on the same level at the start of the match. Yeah. You're sat next to an absolute superstar thinking, an average angler is sat next to a superstar thinking, yeah, I'll have him today. Yeah. He's mine today.
And they can as well.
I'll have 4 bream and he's going to blank. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That is the beauty about what
it's more
what
of a level. Well, the only things that dictate the difference between you and the bloke next to you, vaguely, is what you put through your feeder and your accuracy in casting. Are they the 2 biggest?
Yeah.
Obviously, there's other courses, lots of other things.
Yeah, but then there's a flip side to that. So you go to certain venues, although I don't fish it, and I've got to start because we've got feeder masters around there. But Southfield, you could have the worst caster in the world next year, but actually that's the right approach on the day because he's not putting the bait in the same spot.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden he's got 4 bream, and you've not had a bite, and you're being dead accurate, and you're moving a yard past your bait at 60 metres, and you're like thinking, how in hell is he catching? He's going in like a house brick.
Yeah.
And I can't get a bite.
So
there's another twist. What is interesting is when you get to that higher level where it's commercial feeder fishing, that's taking it to a whole new meaning now.
Yeah, your Barstons, Larfords, Hallcroft,
but even faster fishing, 21st century method feeder fishing on your commercials, there's a handful of anglers that are very good at what they do, and it's apparent. You know you don't want to be next to him, because he's going to absolutely.
What do you mean faster? This sort of thing?
Yeah,
lots of bites, catching fish.
But it's probably the same on Tamar. If you look that short range feeder, was it when they were catching roach or the little skimmers like Buckwalder and stuff? Where that is where you can be so far ahead of other people because it's like your general feeder angler would. I've never fished like that. You probably haven't.
I'd take myself out. Feed at 6 metres, I'd be killing myself at some point. Something bad had happened.
Brilliant.
It would, wouldn't it?
But it's almost the same. It's its own little ecosystem now.
That's right.
There's different. There's like the commercial side, the natural side, the somewhere in the middle, fishing for carp on feeders, and
within the feeder fishing fraternity, there are so many avenues you can go down now.
Yeah.
Is that good for it, bad for it?
I think it's brilliant for it. You can tailor your fishing to how you want to fish.
Yeah.
You know.
So,
yeah.
I don't know if you'll know, on that side of things, is there actually like the club level below it? Are you getting clubs going out feeder fishing and stuff, or is it mainly just at high?
That's a good question.
Because I genuinely don't know.
Do you know what? I don't think that's the case. I really don't.
Shouldn't he? That'd be good.
That is,
do you know who does? This is only because we see results. Coopers that we go to, they have matches where Waggler match.
Yeah.
Feeder. That should be done, shouldn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That must be for your general angler. It's less expense on kit. It's less sort of prep, as you're saying, all that sort of thing.
That's a good shout. That while you're on about kit.
Yeah, that's true. That, but that is true. And let's talk about Lindome in the winter, right? Not forgetting it's winter time. We're on. Here, we call it Windome. Yeah. You turn up some days in the winter and you're looking out of the window in your van, you've drawn your peg and you're thinking, I do not want to get my tackle out. But actually with a feeder match, once you get your brolly set up and you're nice and comfy, flask of tea, tip goes round and you're playing a fish, you think, do you know what?
It's tolerable.
I'm glad I've got out of the house because I'm really enjoying this. And whereas it was a normal open match where you might have to fish the pole in gale force winds and feel the bitterly cold wind in your face, all of a sudden you're behind a nice comfortable brolly. It has attracted so many anglers. Yeah. So whereas
I felt cosy just you saying that.
Yeah.
I felt like cosy in a little. Do you know what I mean? I could feel the wind on me. And I thought, I like it when it's like that. I'm not battling with your pole.
I suppose you can still fish. You can still fish effectively in bad conditions when it's like that. Whereas if you were fishing,
everyone else is in the same
boat
as well.
If you're fishing a pole, it's almost who's going to stick it out that bit longer or
that's
like
right.
be a bit stronger. And
you don't get beat through the conditions.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He can't hold his pole, so you beat him because he can't hold his pole.
Yeah.
Feeder rod, everyone can do it.
or
Yeah,
you
that's
get your
right.
kit for free,
Oh, I
so
never
you don't
thought of it that
care.
way.
if
But
you
in the
smash it up.
winter,
Yeah.
before I started running this feeder league, I think you'd be lucky if there were 8 or 9 anglers here.
How's that your feed? How long have you done that for now? 2 or 3 years?
No, 4 years now.
How's it gone? More popular every year?
It's ridiculous.
Is it?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And so now on a Tuesday, which was always the quietest,
Yeah, that's a non-fishing day in the winter.
there's 40 anglers turn up.
ridiculous, isn't it?
It's ridiculous.
That is like stupid.
Now
on
it's a
Tuesday.
sponsored event. Shimano sponsor it.
Aren't you doing something else this year? Even
pardon?
bigger? Aren't you doing an even bigger thing this year?
Yeah, we're running the Aero Ledger Cup, which is the finals here, but we've got a qualifier here, one at Meadowlands and one at Larford.
Right.
Because that's sort of another evolution, isn't it? Bringing into like feeding and bomb fishing and stuff as well.
And this is when me and Aaron come up with an idea. Let's do a feeder league, but you can fish with a bomb, you can feed with bait by hand, you can feed with a catapult. Because the frustrating thing about feeder fishing is you could be sat there, and a lot of the feeder master rules is you've got to have a rod out at water, you've got to bait. With our rules is you can be fishing, you can be feeding ground bait down the edge by hand.
I think that's phenomenal.
It's great. You can juggle 3 or 4 balls, can't
It
you?
takes away what puts people off about feeder fishing.
100%.
I hate being restricted. You're taking away the restrictions.
Yeah, that's right.
And I know the restrictions are there because they're trying to keep it within the international thing at that top, the feeder mastersy thing. Fair play, as it should be.
Yeah.
But I love the flexibility.
And then all of a sudden, when we have these matches, you've got anglers that you never see here all through the year, and do you know what? They're all like, do you know what? I can't wait for this feeder league this year.
Yeah.
The amount of people that say, do you know what? I just can't wait for it to start.
Yeah.
And actually, when it comes to the last round, it's like, do you know what? I'm absolutely gutted it's finished because I've loved it.
It's that good.
Everyone enjoys it.
Yeah.
Everyone has a really good laugh.
Having that change in, we were saying this about the silver fishing stuff.
Yeah.
Having that change in the winter, doing something a bit different, that it's
Makes you
something
look
to look
forward to
to.
it.
Yeah.
Well, it's 2 gaps, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've got because it used to be summer, misery. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you caught nothing all winter.
Yeah.
And now it's, I do that in the summer and I do this in the winter.
Yeah, you know what? Like what we were saying earlier. If somebody were to ask me what's your favourite time of the year, not because you kind of like your reins are a little bit free because of not as much commitment doing marketing or video or content creation.
Yeah.
But actually the style of fishing and the venues you go to. My favourite time is from September till April. Coming here, great laugh, loads of fish.
Proper venue, innit? You've got that look
and good matches. You're fishing, and on a Tuesday match, there's 3 world champions in it.
Yeah.
Where else in the country where you go and you're at that kind of level?
Yeah, on a Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Tommy and Alan next to you.
Yeah.
Have a bit of that.
Yeah.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, so there's a lot to be said about the evolution of fishing, feeder fishing, and certain anglers have taken it to another level, and as a result, the levels, the tiers below that have had to move up in order to keep up with that.
Yeah.
As regards to your average angler now thinks, right, I don't know, he's bashed me up, but what have you used? I've used a fluorocarbon up length 011. All right, let's have a look. Right, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Then they're back at home. Now they're tying a different material up. They're tying different hooks. And then before you know it, the prepping side has increased on the feeder fishing because it's a big learning curve.
Yeah. Just as commercials were to start
Yeah.
with. Maybe that's the point is that where we've just said about maybe are there other matches that we don't know about.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the next thing that's coming.
Yeah.
Because now the elite gang are only relatively newly been created within feeder fishing, haven't
True.
they? And you've got the next level. Maybe the next level's yet to be created.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And it might start happening in 5 years' time. Who knows?
Yeah. I mean, let's say for example, this Aero Ledger Cup, 3 qualifiers, a final, and the amount of people said, why didn't you do more qualifiers? And I said, what I wanted to do was 3 20 peg zones in each qualifier, the top 5 from each zone get in the final. Now, in my eyes...
Lots of prizes, yeah.
Well, you sat in a qualifier thinking, well, he's on the MPEG, so he's going to win zone. In this match, it doesn't matter because
you've got a chance.
You've still got another 4 places to fish for.
Yeah.
Then you're in a big final. And
I think that's very important in the winter as well. We spoke about the silver fish
100%.
matches. You can't have 60 peggers, winner goes through.
No,
Not in the winter.
It's not. But it's too predictable.
Yeah.
And now everyone's like, why don't you do more qualifiers? I says, because I want to create a demand for it.
Yeah.
We as a company want
Let
to
it
create a
build
demand.
nicely.
That's right. And then next year, we can change the format a little bit.
Yeah.
But when a venue when an event sells out, the following year, everyone wants to book on it. And that's what we wanted to create. And I think that's simply from the popularity of feeder fishing.
Yeah. It is, isn't it?
And all ages as well. You know, like we were saying, what I missed out, these Tuesday matches or any feeder-related match, it's a mixture of ages of people.
Yeah. You've got some of the older boys that feel he couldn't compete on the commercials in normal matches because of what I was on about then.
Yeah.
Because of holding a 16-metre pole. They don't have to now.
Yeah. A typical example is Jubby. Gary Jubb is a brilliant pole angler.
Yeah.
Brilliant pole angler. Can't stand feeder fishing. And then he were next to me a couple of times last year during the Winter League. And after the days, he were like, I can't believe how much I've learned just watching you. And then next minute he's changed his setup and his rod rests and he's coming up to me like, show me how to do your bait. And next minute he's fishing every feeder round because, and he's turned around and he said, do you know what? I love this feeder fishing now. It's great, you know. And,
created inspiration.
That's
almost.
nice, that, isn't it? Because we're all helping each other out, you know.
Yeah.
And I think that's how it should be. That
Someone like Gary as well has been around forever.
yeah,
It is. To all of a sudden get that new lease of life.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
But that's always the like with anything, be it fishing or any other hobby, that sort of first few years where you're actually properly learning and stuff, that's always the most exciting bit, isn't it?
Yeah.
And once you get like to the bit where it is just rinse and repeat, that's where you can get a bit bored of it. And
You can get stale very quick in
Yeah.
fishing, can't you? Of the same thing.
yeah.
No, I like that. That's been a lovely one.
where do you see it going in the future?
Where do I see it? I see more competitions arising. I see the companies realising that it's a great way of marketing products, so more sponsorship involved.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the only areas in fishing that will evolve and evolve and evolve because it all just makes sense. To me, it's the next thing to golf. Golf is so popular for your average person. Well, I've got 3 hours off today. Let's pick your clubs up, chuck them in back of van or a car. Let's go golfing. Feeder fishing is getting very close to that because of the minimal prep.
It's so easy, isn't it?
It's up to you what you want to make it, but if you want to go feeder fishing with 4 hook lengths, you can do.
Do you know what? Saying that, if I'd never go price fishing 2 or 3 times a year.
Yeah.
If I do, I chuck feeder.
Yeah.
Because it's convenient, isn't it?
Yeah,
you just go, I'm done, I'm fishing. I'm not setting up.
That's right. It's relaxing. Done. You can have a phone call. Hey, I'll have to ring you back. I've got one on or whatever. You know, it's a comfortable way of fishing.
Yeah.
And it's extremely popular, and that's so evident to see in all the competitions over, especially the past 4 or 5 years, that have arisen.
Yeah.
And they're not just events that have arisen; they are growing events that are. When you look at Feeder Master ticket sales or the Southfield trying to get on the qualifiers.
I see all the fighting for it on Facebook.
Right, this is a typical example. I am terrible on a computer.
Yeah.
So I spoke to Lee Kerry. I says, how can I get a qualifier? How can I get a ticket? And he went, Nick, make sure you use 4G. Don't use your broadband because it works faster on 4G.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it comes up, Feeder Master. Here we are. Right. So I'm that crap. This is how crap I am. So it come up on the page. Right, it's up. Rather than pressing to comment, I press like. So I've told Tommy, who was in absolute hysterics. So then I've pressed like, then I've pressed comment. Maybe it took me 2 seconds and I'm 380th.
Gone.
Gone. If it's come up and you haven't put your copy and pasted your initials within 2 seconds,
you ain't getting a ticket.
you are not even going to get on the reserve.
That's unbelievable.
So that just sums up. And when you look at the fishing at Southfield, it's not that good, but from a level playing field point of view, your average angler can think, I can catch 2 bream and qualify.
I can draw a peg in the woods and win.
Yeah.
Or whatever it is, isn't it? Yeah. That's what they need. We talk about that with our qualifiers a lot. And it's mad, the venues that are the most popular, the Barstons, sometimes the Glebe, they're not ever the best all-round, most best days fishing. They're the around the peg and win.
I think
and people love that.
You saying about like accessibility and people feeling they've got a chance. I think that's where Lee and obviously the other feeder comps have got it right.
Yeah.
You've just got to win your zone.
Yeah.
Which suddenly it's a lot more like, was it 20 peg
It's
zones?
it's more achievable,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah. You kind of, there's a lot more times you'll draw and think, oh yeah, I've got half a chance there, sort of thing, isn't there? Whereas
You feel you can win a 20 pegger always.
Yeah.
There's a 60 peg, you think, oh, there's 10 pegs there that are going to beat them. But if you're not in with them, No, I think the way you're doing it's the way, though. That's going to be the main influencer, in the evolution, in the take away the boundaries.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what I mean? Not
It's got to
restricted to
happen.
international only
Because
style.
it's like what you said, it may put off a lot of people from entering because of the frustration of sat there with a rod and thinking, do you know what, I'd love to ping some pellets because they're shallow at the moment. If I kept
can make
pinging,
something happen.
make something happen. You know, my feeder's 4 foot below where the fish are. If I start pinging 8 mils over the top, that's definitely going to make a difference.
It's probably commercials that mean that has to happen. Isn't it? The way fish feed on commercials,
But
it
imagine,
makes it hard.
even on a natural water where you want to prime your roach line, where you might be braid fishing long and short, but loose feeding casters at 15 metres or whatever, and fishing a little feeder over the top, or
a buoyant bait's allowed.
on what?
I'm guessing not in feeder matches, but in the one you're doing.
Like popped up bread.
Yeah, you can use bread, but you can't use a slow sinking feeder.
Could you use like zig rigs and all that? Because that's a whole new world of, if you can feed and fish zigs, then that opens up a whole new world of opportunity there.
Yeah, you could do that if you want to.
Isn't it?
That's
What's the time
right,
of year as well?
I'll mark it there. Anything, if it goes down that route, that will, whoever gets on that for like properly will take the piss for a bit.
Really?
Yeah,
I reckon that's
especially
a
on
big-
loco.
Yeah, that's like coming from like what Mark Bartlett does and all that sort of stuff at like Drayton Rares and all that side of things. That's literally what it's become, is like
Summer
spodding
carp
slop
fishing
over
like that.
zigs, bit of black foam and stuff like that. If
But
that's
the
allowed.
problem with that is you can't bait up with a baiting rod
Or your rigs in the
while
water.
your rod's in the water.
Yeah, I think that there's limitations, but I still think you can get round
Yeah,
regular casting, bit
yeah.
of cloud, zig on top of it, give it 5 minutes, back out.
Yeah, but I think we're looking back from our point of view as a sponsored anglers, and for the tackle industry itself, it's just been such a revelation. And you know, you get a lot of people moan about commercial fishing back in the day, but I tell you what, we would not be sat here if
we wouldn't have jobs.
We wouldn't have jobs.
We'd
That's
be
right.
working, doing who knows what.
Yeah.
Commercials are the best thing ever to happen to fishing.
Yeah.
And
And they had to happen because of the demise of natural waterway systems.
Yeah. No, I think that's a nice ending point for
Yeah.
that.
Lovely.
That's very, very insightful. I like that. I forgot what we're doing again.
Evolution of feeder fishing, because Nick's here and he knows about feeder fishing. We don't.
Evolution of feed fishing. I like that.